So, welcome everybody here to our Saturday team call. Good to see you all. Good morning. You know, sometimes we hear stories of, the success stories, and everybody loves to hear those dream, struggle, victory stories. I think that's what inspires me the most. We've had so many people talk about, the stories at Leader School this year with the dreams and what people really want and the struggles that they go through, and then that victory, and you feel that, elated just listening to the stories. And actually, it's sometimes those struggles that really make that difference, because you feel that story. You relate to the struggles that maybe you're feeling now in Zenzino as you're building your business. And sometimes there's people who get into the business and you hear about them going to crown right away, and royal crown or ambassador. And I know some people, it almost takes away that excitement, and you're like, wait a minute, am I doing something wrong? What is going on? But one thing I know, that the more people that I interview about their dream, struggle, victory, is there's a lot going on. You don't know what's been going on in their lives. You don't know their stories. And sometimes, they've been going through things. So they're maybe on chapter 38 of their story, and you can't compare your chapter 3 with their chapter 38. But the stories itself is inspiring. Now, actually, the speaker we have on today that I am interviewing, I am very honored that he is here, and I love his story because he was building when I got in the business, and I got to meet him and his wife, and I just feel honored to know them. And when you hear his story, some of us were like, wait a minute, he went to what? He went to Royal Crown this month. Well, yay, it's so exciting. And then it went Black Crown, and then Ambassador. Wait a minute, Royal Ambassador, wait, a Black Ambassador, President, what is going on? And I know everybody was like kind of behind the scenes going, wait, what? And if you follow him, he has had a president mindset for many years, and he's finally got that title that's creeped up to him and caught up with him, is what I wanted to say. And I am so glad that we get to hear his story here today. So let me bring him on here, the amazing Thomas Tidlund. So Thomas, thank you for being on, and I'm so glad that you are here. Hi, Thomas.
Hi, Carla. Thank you for facilitating this meeting as well. And thank you for those kind, loving words. And so lovely to see everybody here. Many familiar faces and a lot of new faces as well. So thank you for taking your time. And again, Carla, thank you for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to empowering some people here.
Well, Thomas, some of the things that are kind of fun to talk about, let's start at the beginning, is when I got in the business, you were already one of the leaders. So I saw you on that stage each time I was at an event. And you were already inspiring, and that's 11 years ago, Thomas. That was kind of crazy for me, but and you've been traveling the world. We're Facebook friends, so we can kind of follow where you're going. And actually right now I'm in Minnesota, you're in Wisconsin. We got the Vikings and the Packers going on here. But why don't we start at the beginning and talk about what were you doing actually even before Zenzino?
Absolutely, and I will try to do it the Reader's Digest, I would say, because that's I started with network marketing back in 1998, so that's like dark 100. Like most of you are not even born, I see here, at that year. But my story is that I'm a high school dropout in Sweden, and ironically, I became a high school teacher. And then I played soccer on a professional level. So there was a lot of things going on in my life when I was introduced to network marketing. And my eyes was wide open, and I was introduced through a product. But when my sponsor at the time told me, like, Thomas, you and I can become millionaires in dollars. Back in 1998, $1 million was a lot of money. And especially towards the Swedish kroners, my eyes were wide open, and I went all in there. And what I did was that I invested in a business with money that I didn't have. You know, remember, I was a full-time teacher. I was paid to play soccer, and I still didn't have the money to invest in my business at the time. So I took a credit on my credit card that was not very common in Sweden in 1998. And I think it was like almost $2,000 that I invested in that business. It was a US company. And I started to talk to everybody, you know, like, and work, because I really saw what this could do. And after around 6 months, I had earned, around $24. And that's not very much money, and it's not a great success story. Today, I'm very grateful for it. Someone would ask, but why did you not stop? Or why did you not quit? Or why did you give up? I don't know. I just saw something and I worked to it. But what happened was that I invested more money and went to over the pond to United States, to a big company convention. I met some of the most successful people in my business and in the like leadership authors and stuff around, you know, well known in the world, and could sit down with them and ask them what they had done to succeed, what obstacle have they overcome. And then I went back to Sweden, and it took around 8 months from that time to go from nothing to actually earning twice as much as I did as a teacher. And that's when I went full time with network marketing. And then fast forward, I didn't have a consumable product, like a reordering product in that company. So I was looking for a company with a product that you can build a reordering business on. And that's how I got to know the founder of our company, dear friend of mine today, Mr. Örjan Säle and Mrs. Hilde Säle. And when Zenzino started, I decided to leave my company and start with Zenzino. So, and that story I won't go in, but I had a top position in my first company after many years there, but I was going to build a new business with this business. So I was not going to cross recruit or anything, but it took 3 weeks and I lost my whole income from my old company. And the rest is history. I still haven't recruited people from my downline there. That company has gone the other way, and our company is going this way. So I'm very, very happy for that. But that's just like to scratch the surface.
Well, and then you get into Zenzino, and now you have had experience before, but I remember you know, you're hitting Crown. You were one of the first people hitting all the titles, and everybody was watching you. And if I remember correctly, when I was in, you were like partner of the year, and it was just building like crazy.
Absolutely. And I like when we go back, it's 17 years ago. So it's like we are still a very small company, a great company, but still very small in the big picture. But 17 years ago, we were significantly smaller. I can promise you that. And so when someone hit diamond, that was a huge deal. And then, of course, the Crown and so on. And this is back in maybe 2011, 2012 or something when I reached Crown. That was also when I met the love of my life. You can see my beautiful wife in the background here, who is in the profession. She was invited of our founder to our director trip in Dubai back in 2011. We fell in love there. The rest is history. We are married happily today. We live in US, in Sweden, and so on. But what happened there was the dynamic made it very, very hard, because this is pre-Zoom. This is pre-Team, all those, you know, online tools that we have today. So it was hard to keep the pace of the business that I did. So that's one reason that I got stagnant in the volume. So I didn't like rank advanced and so on for many years. And there was, of course, other things, dynamics going on when your wife is in one company, you were in one company, and so on. But what I always have done is to help and give service to my team, because one of my philosophies is grow me, serve you. And even if I couldn't work like fully out with my Zenzino business, I was always fully committed. I was always 100% there, but it would maybe under the surface for some reasons. And we kept on building. But one thing, when you asked the question, Carla, it dawned on me, like one thing throughout, it's almost 10 years, from being used to rank advance and then not being the person that doing that, and then see everybody else rank advance. Of course, not everybody else, but it always feels like that when you see other people rank advance. And I think we have a choice to do there where we can say, wow, this is fantastic. Like if he can, or if she can, or if they can, I can. Or we can be depressed and think, oh, I'm not good enough, or why are they succeed and I'm not succeed? And I choose the first path to empower and see how exciting it is for people and foremost the company and the team to grow in such a speed. And I think that, laid the foundation of the mental toughness and other things that, prepared me to maybe do what we are going to talk about a little bit later in this Zoom as well.
Well, it's kind of fun to think about, because that's when I started, when you guys went to Dubai, and that's when you guys met. And then the following year, I was at an event, and I was able to meet Donna, and I was thinking, oh, this American, I got to go talk to her. He married this American. And I had such an amazing conversation with Donna. And it wasn't until afterwards that I was like, oh, wait, now I know who she is. And she is definitely one of the most incredible direct sellers, network marketers in the world. And then with you guys together, it just had a whole, you had different values. You were constantly working at, like you said, bettering yourself and serving others. That focus definitely came out of both of you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we call it personal development, but I think it's a life-changing development. I think no matter if you're in our beautiful profession or our beautiful company, or if you do something else, you need to work more on yourself than anything else. Many people misunderstand that and think that they work on themselves so they don't have time to work on the other stuff. But it's a simultaneously thing that needs to happen. And sometimes you do it more, sometimes less, but it's something, you like grow you, and a lot of things will happen. I don't know. There's a book I love to read, and there's a story in that about Solomon, he got the question from God, like, he said, ask me for whatever you want. You can get whatever you want. I will give it to you. And Solomon, he said, after thinking a lot, he said, I would love to have more wisdom. He could have, of course, they didn't have a Ferrari back in the days, but or a big mansion and things, but he could have choosing whatever he wanted. And he said, just give me more wisdom. And with that smart choice, he was granted everything, everything. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a huge lesson. Most often in life, people, it's like if they chase money or fame or something, but if they would pursue wisdom, they would get all of that.
So let's talk a little bit about personal development, because a lot of people who get into any direct selling company, and in Zenzino, we talk about personal development. And I mean, you go to an event and there's a book table and people are like, oh, you should take this. And it's like, what, read a book? like, no, I shouldn't have to read a book, or or what do you mean by building up you?
Yeah,
Because
that's
I think
good.
that's an important thing for a lot of people is what do you mean by doing that? Because isn't it just out there? It's about your pay is based on your volume of what you're out there what's going through your business.
Yeah. That's so true, because let's say we would open up this training or this time together, and we will talk about how-tos, how to do something. Most of the people here would take notes and be really engaging and exciting. And then when you start to talk about mindset, less people tend to take notes and make a decision to actually adopt that or take action on that. But still, it's like one of my favorite all-time books is Think and Grow Rich. And I know we always feature that on the book tables. We talk about it. And, it's not called Grow Rich and Start Think. It's Think and Grow Rich. And thinking comes out of us, wanting to know more, to learn more and adopt more, but also just reading or listening or attending event, it's pretty useless if we don't take action on what we hear or what we learn and the ahas and everything. And I want to just take the opportunity also, because I know we're always going through things in life. And, when we do that, to have a support system, and that system could be books. That support system could be audiobooks, it could be trainings, it could be a mentor, it could be a coach, it could be a team or a family like Zenzino. And I think, it doesn't cost you to buy a book and read a book. It gives you an opportunity to multiply whatever you intend to do. And I also want to say that, like, if I want to congratulate anybody on this Zoom or watching the replay of this Zoom, because if you are at you feel that you're at the rock bottom right now, I want to congratulate you, because to get up and fight your life, if you make that choice to just get up and fight your future life, it's going to be so spectacular. Because if you're struggling right now and you feel like there's no way out, you're exactly where you need to be. Because your problem is your promotion, no matter what it is. And I will promise you, when you achieve your goal or arrive where you want to be, none of it would ever happen without the lessons and the destruction and everything else that you need to experience before you arrive to your destination. And to have that strength, inner strength, personal development is a help for you to drag you through those times. So I just want you to, feel an encouragement and feel being motivated instead of depressed. And when you see like maybe a big mountain in front of you, that you want something, you see that you can get something, but it's so far away. And Carla and I talked about it before we went online here, that we just have to adopt a philosophy or a mental mindset of until. We just have to go until one more book, one more meeting, one more event, or what, until we reach there. Or it could be other stuff in the private life. But what I mean with personal development is that what you put into this grease bulb up here, this greasy thing, called brain, it will come back to you. And it may not show up today, tomorrow, or next week, but you can't undo what you do. And it's almost like junk proof your brain. Put in stuff that matters in your brain and that directs you in the right direction. And I think, I told you I started in 1998 with network marketing, but I got my first book in personal development 1993, June 8, 1993. And that changed my life. Getting into network marketing, that just amplified. That was times, 10x personal development. So I will leave it with there and get it back to you there, Carla.
Okay, so, but I hope everyone gets that, how important personal development is. So even for people that have been in for a long time, continue that and keep going until.
Yeah.
And there's people who are saying we had struggles, or and Thomas, we know we had a lot of struggles at the beginning. So there's people that have been on here that have been building this for 10 years and are like, but it's now such an incredible company that people can get started and build fast. So let's talk about your building fast, because all of a sudden people were like, wait, what? What is happening with Thomas? What was this miracle that happened in 1 month? And I know it didn't happen in 1 month. So that
no, one month is the surface, it's like the top of an iceberg. The rest is under, like I said, 17 years of work in one company. And I would say the outcome of May 2022, then when our team promoted to president, it's that maybe started 3 years earlier. And it was a shift. A couple of things changed in my life, so I had an opportunity to go more public with Zenzino, and I made a couple of shifts, and I started to look for some of you have heard or seen my President movie that Zenzino made, and also some of you I see were in Oslo, Norway as well for the leadership school. But if we back up to August, I put the goal to go president in May 2022, April 26, 2022. I just wanted that to dawn on you, because that's what most people would say in outdated, like that's an impossible goal. And the whole thing was to redefine impossible. Because if you break it down, impossible become I am possible. And you can't do that without having the foundation. So I was already confident that I had the foundation. But as I said, that started maybe 3 years earlier, when I was looking for a who instead of figuring out how to build this business. And most people, when they put the goal up, the first question for Carla, for myself back in the days, for most of you would be, you put the goal up, I'm going to get to crown, I'm going to get the black car, I'm going to go to president. The next question you ask is how? And now it sucks your energy out of you, because if you never done it before, how would you know? So that kind of is insignificant, because when the why is strong enough, the how-tos comes easy. So it's more about your posture, your self-confidence, where it said we walk by faith, not by sight. And that's not necessarily easy, but it's something we need to do. Like we have to picture something in front of us. So the team, the person that I got to know and got to recruit back in 2021, I had that was because I was looking for a who, and a who to me referred a person that I started to build a relationship with in Philippines. So I never met the person physically. And after maybe 6 months of relationship building, this magnificent person and his mom decided to join our company. And now we are back in June 2021. Okay, so that's almost a year ago. And then we built on a global market, very, very same principle that I always built with. And there's a couple of, I think, nuggets that a lot of you can take with you. One thing is, in our profession, it's very usual, and also in our company, in my wife's company, like in all company, to promote to a title, and then we go down. because we put all the efforts into it. That's okay, because we either building or rebuilding our business constantly. There's no shame in that. There's like, that's how it is. My philosophy is to promote through a title, because I know that you need money to pay the rent. You need money to provide food for your family. You need money to pay for your car. So if you miss a title with a couple of credits or whatever it is, it's okay. We will get there as long as you get the paycheck that you want or that you desire to have. So that's what it's about, to promote through something. So even when I got this feeling of we have the people in the team that we can actually go from like 14,000 credits in April to 100,000 plus credits in May, because, you know, we call it in Zenzino freedom leg. You know, when you have a leg that counts towards your big business. And of course, a third of the precedent volume is 100,000 credits. And that leg, that team had produced the last maybe 5-6 months, 14,000 credits, you know, constantly. So the thing is that I couldn't have a meeting with, let's say, Carla here and say, Carla, now we have to go out and do this, this, and this, so I can become president. That would not fall on good ground. I don't recommend that. Because remember, grow me, serve you. It's all about like, how can I help you grow? So I had to come up with the plan that was significant for the team, that they felt that they got something out of it. And when that happened, we are like a couple of days into May. And the reason I'm getting a little bit specific about it is that I want you to feel that you can do it. It's just that we don't know when that moment will happen. It's like you heard about the turtle and the rabbit, and, you know, it's consistency over, you know, speed and, you know, start and stop. But I think life is a sprint marathon, you know, like we have to do. It's like, well, you have all heard learn, perform, lead. That's something that we talk about, you know, learn, perform, lead. Most people, including myself back in the days, we get in there and we start to learn and we start to perform, but we eye on lead. We want to be a leader. We want to lead a group. And then we think maybe when we get to, in our company, gold or executive or something, that we are a leader. And I would say you are probably a terrific, beautiful, like human being, but I don't think that is leadership. That's like, leadership is something that comes of the effort of learn, perform, learn, perform, learn, perform, learn, perform. And we will always get what we're focusing on. But the soon we're focusing on leadership, we forget how to learn and perform. So it sounds boring, but it's all about outdoing the functions, you know, the simplicity, you know, that we know we need to do them. And the difficulty is that we don't have a deadline or a timeline or something. Like, it would be easy if I could say this, Carla, if you did this, this, and this, you will have this humongous check or this title, this date. But life comes in between. So there's stuff happening and it's not that linear. So that's why we always have to do it until. We just have to continue. Oh, but it's so hard, Thomas. It's so hard, Carla. I don't know how long I can persist. We just have to persist until. And if we have that trust, and if we are here 12 months from now, I promise you it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. And getting back to May, you know, when we started to promote, I have my whiteboard here. I wish I could show you all, but that's the whole precedent plan and everything. And it's like, it's a symbol now. It's like, I told my wife the other day, I think I need to buy a new whiteboard. I don't want to wipe it out. But that's a good lesson too. Our past won't create our future. We have to let go. So maybe where you feel that there's a period, you know, you came to a dead end, maybe God just put the comma there. maybe what you feel is a period, it's the dead end. God said that's not just a comma. There's something to learn here. We just need to move on until. And I think that's a good lesson. So I was around May 26. I knew we were going to hit the volume. And we were less than half the volume in yet. But there was a feeling. It's hard to describe. It has to be experienced. But that doesn't matter if it's president or diamond or executive. When you know. So that's when pretty much I was sitting down and just everything dawned on me. I was all the emotion. I just thinking about it gets me really, really emotional. But when you pretty much redefine the impossible. Like Carla said. From crown to royal crown, black crown, ambassador, royal ambassador, black ambassador, president in 1 month. But what the most important part for me was all the titles in that new team, but also in my existing team during that month, but also the following month when we actually outdid the volume in May, and actually in July when we outdid the volume in June. And that's the lesson of promoting through a title.
Okay,
I think
we have to stop at that, because I just saw the people's, they all just went, whoa, what? It wasn't just this, it was going through the title. But I think there's a lot of big keys in this because it all ties together. When you're saying grow me, serve you, and you're saying it, you can feel it in everything that you say, that it's your team. Also because you said when our team hit president, it wasn't that you hit president. That's really those signs behind where people's focus is, not the leading, but doing the learning and the performing, and continue to do that, because so many people are like trying to have their team, or they're saying my team isn't going. I would get there if my team would just, and it's not about that. It's building you, performing yourself until. All that really is I think super key in everybody's growth. And if we all gave ourselves permission to be okay with where we're at, but just be moving forward, and until, and not ever giving up. Because I think that's what we see a lot of people. Some people have been doing this for a long time, or, we've had people sign up just months ago and are saying, well, it's not going to work for me. But it is just doing until, working on yourself and growing yourself, but serving others and having that mentality, because the more people we help, the farther along we're going to go.
Absolutely. And I think I thought about one thing when I was listening to Caroline that I think will help a lot of people here, because I think we all know about SMART goals, for example. We teach them in Express Start, SMART goal. And I think his name is George Doran. I may not pronounce him right, but he was the guy the originator of SMART goals. And, it's been talked about throughout the whole, what do you call it? Entrepreneurial, self-help, platform speaking and everything, we talk about SMART goal, but there's a couple of things there that been thrown around in that acronym. And one, we talk about achievable, for example, the A, achievable. And we also talk about realistic. But we have to understand, if we put the goal in place that's achievable and realistic, it's not so much of a goal. Because I'm blessed to have, I know that this goal is a teamwork. It's from God's blessings and everything else. So it's like, why would I put a realistic goal in place? That's just pretty much to say, because, it's okay. It's almost the philosophy of it's okay to lose as long as you participate. No. Why don't we want to win in life? Why don't we strive for excellence? So be bold and put that. But I want to help. You heard me talk about who, not how. And it's about who can be a who in your life. Like, who do you know that who someone? Who do you know who is a who? And then be a who for that. But if you take the original formula for the SMART goal, the A is actually meant to be assignable, which means who. Assign someone. So it goes hand in hand. Like, so who can be that person that can contribute to these big goals? And suddenly things starts to open up here. Now you're not alone anymore. Even if you probably don't have that who right now. It's something that you need. For me, it took almost 2 years to get that in place. And that's, one leg, one team. I'm continuing. I want another team, and another team. So it's another who all the time. But the story to get to the unbelievable leadership we built in Philippines, for example, now, I had to go through 2 significantly like up with a who, and then lose all that volume to get the new who in India, for example, lose all that volume, led to this who that we built Philippines with right now. So it's like, it's not just like, oh, it just appears and everything is golden. So the thing I wanted to give to you is there's a concept called the gap and the gain. So now we put a goal in place, okay? Picture where you want to go. And you may put the date down. I'm going to do this or have this or become this date, which you should do. You need to have a date. My goal for the year 2022 was president in December, but I felt something in April that I could speed up things, and I did that in May. So now I have a bigger goal coming, but that's between me and God. But it's, so you have the goal, and now you go out and work, and life comes in between. Remember, we are either building or rebuilding our business. There's no shame there. So you can build, lose it, and rebuild. That's okay. That's cool. That's freaking cool, I would say, if you do that. It's not cool to quit, So if you're tired of starting over, stop quitting, just continue.
Yeah, but you talked about, those I am possible instead of having something impossible, because I think that's an important thing too, because I guess it made it possible when you did it, because nobody's ever done what you just did. And no. But I think too, because it's a lot of people think of that, like I wouldn't have ever thought of setting that goal. I wouldn't thought about that it could even be possible. But I think it's because of the years of the personal development to where you end up with that posture. And that's why it's so important to have that. Because I think it's just listening to you, it kind of gives me this awe feeling, like, how do I get that? I mean, I would love to do that, but you need to be that person. I've heard many leaders say, when the student is ready, the teacher arrives. And you said, okay, now is the time, and it happens. It's almost like, ask and it will be given unto you, but you need to believe it and believe I am possible. So how do we get there?
Yeah, I think this is powerful. And I also want to quit the gap and the gain thing, because that's going to help a lot of you. But I think this is powerful. You will attract the people you want when you decide what you deserve. You will attract the people you want when you decide what you deserve.
Wow. I had to.
And of course, I don't know all of you, and I could be, I could do this rah-rah, oh, I know you can do everything and everything, but I don't know you, but I know you can. Did you get that? So it's like you all possess the power. Remember when I talked about that, I congratulated you if you're going through things, if you're on the rock bottom, because that's the thing that's going to grow your strength. That's the story that you're going to tell the world to get out of that. But I want to go back to the gap and the gain, because you put this goal up, and let's say you fall short. You do half of the volume this month that you told your sponsor you're going to do this, this, and this. So you feel like a loser because you're here and you said you were going to go here. Okay, there's a gap. But if you look backwards where you started and where you are, there's a gain. Can you feel that? I get goosebumps because that will empower you. So stop looking and build yourself down, because as long as you're doing something, as long as you're moving forward, you are way ahead of the people that doesn't do anything. And if you do what you know you need to do, and it feels like nothing is happening, everything is happening. Mm-hmm. But because it's in those dark moments, it's in those moments when nobody is watching, that everything is happening. And I also
if you're in the marathon, and as long as you're moving forward, you're always at some point going to finish that marathon.
Yeah.
You just need to continue moving forward. So,
and I think you will never regret sinking. You will regret sitting. And I refer that to when Peter told JC, show me how to go on water, show me how to walk on water. And JC just said, come. He didn't flip the IKEA, manual to this is how you build it, or he didn't flip the express start to say, first you do this circle. He just said, come. And the risk of sinking for Peter in that moment made him one of the only one except JC to ever walk on water. I think the 11 other guys in that team had inaction regrets for the rest of their lives, because I bet they wanted to walk on water too. And if we go back to where we started, I think most of us here want to reach president.
Mm-hmm. And that's what you did. You made the statement in April that you were going to do it. And to me, that's like walking on water. That's like saying, okay, I'm taking that faith and I am putting that step out there because I know I can do it.
And make sure that you get rid of all inaction regrets, because so it's better to sink than to sit. And I think that can drive some of you forward, but use the gap and the gain. So we need a goal, and don't feel bad if you don't reach it. Look where you started. And I think all of us here, if you have been with us, Zenzino, for 3 weeks, or if you've been here like Carla or myself, 17 years, if you look where you are today, no matter if your check is your title or if your check is lower than your title, no matter if you have another title than you actually reached, if you look backwards, you are so way ahead than where you were when you started this business. Your mindset, your associations, your lifestyle, like everything is ahead. And there's always something to be grateful for.
Yeah. Be thankful for the progress that you've done. Be thankful, be grateful. That's also a mindset too on the journey, even if you're not exactly where you want to be. I know a lot of people are writing yes. And so many of the ones that are writing are exactly those people that maybe have been in for some time, and they know, that they can make it because you did it. And we can see other people who have done that. And they're saying, yes, I just need to continue until.
I see all the comments now, and I don't have time to answer them, but I'm so excited for you, and I feel that you're getting it to your heart, and that's where it has to come, from your head to your heart. And a philosophy for me to do that is also people before profit. You know, we need to see human beings. We need to build people up. And it doesn't matter if it's a prospect, a customer, a person that says no to the business, a president, a director, a crown, or a gold. It's people, it's human beings. And that's what we want to empower. The rest will just come as, you know, cause and effect of what we are doing.
I love that. Okay. Well, people are just going crazy already over this. And I know a lot of people watch this on replays, but it is really exciting for people to feel that. I mean, I feel it. I feel encouraged. I feel, you know, because we were crowned at the same time, Tom, and I know I'm going to president. I've never been in doubt about that. And actually, I'm very grateful for the struggles we had. There's a lot of struggles in the United States, but we have really gained so much. Yes, there's a gap until we get there, but the gain has been incredible. And the people we have become has set that foundation for doing this, and has given a road to people who are starting now that they can build that in a huge way, because so many things are in place now. And it's definitely time. And you're showing that now is the time for people to hit that growth. Now, what would you say to round all this out? What would you say? Because I know your growth has been going like this, and we see that it's continuing. We're hitting more and more records in North American team than ever. But where do you see the future? What are people looking forward to in the future of all of Zenzino? Or especially here in the North American market, where are we headed for what would you say in your?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I know we're getting like a little bit of over time here as well. So let's dig into that, and then I can just have a closing word after that, and then you know we can. But I think, and I'm speaking to North America now. I think, and I have thought this since the beginning with Zenzino USA. USA is going to be the biggest country in our company, period. Asia is going to be the biggest market. US is going to be the biggest country. And see yourself as a pioneer, because I don't even know, I think it was 14 or something, maybe 13, we opened up US, slow growth, everything, but still, like what we have done in these years, many companies has failed in. And our success is inevitable, because with the test-based nutrition and the trend in that you talk about, you see it every day and you're passionate about it because you have all the customer. We also now need to find the who want to build this to us. So it's a kind of a little shift from customer to partners. I love simultaneously, like I said, you listen and read simultaneously as you build your business. That's the same with customer partner. That's how you can get the growth, because you need the multiplier of new partners. And I think the person here that draw a line in the sand, makes the decision, go out and build a team, the customer will come. They will come. We need to be intentional in what we are doing, and we need to paint the picture of this global mega trend of test-based nutrition. And I think that, I state it again, United States will be our biggest country. Asia will be the biggest market. So it's a perfect storm of opportunity. And it's like, when is a good time to get involved? As soon as you get involved. I wouldn't say when we started 13 or when we're starting tomorrow or today. It's like, make the decision, and we either build or rebuild. No shame. That's how it is. And I want you to know this: all excuses are equal, because we can all come up with an excuse. But if you know where you want to go, and you can read the comp plan, you know, from left to right, you climb up the ladder. So you can just pick a title there and go see what is the average income from that title. That's what I need to provide for my family. That's what I need to have abundance. That's what I need to prosper. Pick that number and work until you get there. And I think when you know that number, I want you to ask you a question. What's the cost of no action? What is the cost of no action when you know what you can get of doing what you're doing? And like I said it before, when it feels that nothing is happening, everything is happening. And you have a support team here that are with you on the same journey, same path. They will lift you up, they will encourage you, and they will walk this path with you. I can promise you that. So I will give it back to Carl, and then I have some closing thoughts.
I've got so many notes here from this, Thomas, because I think it's really encouraging to absolutely everybody to go after your goals, to go after your dreams, and to really, because there's a lot of people who maybe not believe in themselves, and to also say that it's not about just saying I am going to, but it's we, our team, and to find the people to build this with. It's a wonderful mentality and an encouraging mentality to build this, and then to serve you. I mean, to serve others and to grow me, because that way it's all up to you. So your results are based on what you do. So what is the cost of doing nothing? Everything. Everything is at risk. So set those goals, set the impossible goals, and you can do it. Everybody can do it. That's so encouraging, Thomas. I hope everybody feels that. I hope they just got that, the goosebumps going of, yes, everybody can be president. Have the mindset for it. Build yourself to it. Get that personal development to it, and follow what you can do. If you can do it, Thomas, we all can do it. I mean, seriously, from living over in Wisconsin, and if he can do it, then you guys, we all get. No, I'm just teasing you. Yeah. But it's the when you see the growth that you have done, there's a reason for this. That we all can build it. That we all can do it. And you've just given me that feeling, and I know I can see from the comments that you've given a lot of others to that. So when you talk about, we said from the dream, the struggles, and the victory, your story tells all of those struggles. And I know there's even other struggles. We can't talk about the entire life of the struggles in 45 minutes here, but all of the things that happened to where you are today, your path is your path. It's your decision of what you want to do now and today that's going to determine where you're going to be tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So I'm so grateful for you. I'm going to give you the last words here on this. Oh, thank you.
Thank you. And remember, where you put the period, God probably just put the comma. So we have to persist until. Mm-hmm. And thank you again, everybody, participating. I really appreciate you and love you, Carla, too, for running this. And I'm so excited for what we are going to create from now on in US. And we will measure what we have done so far in the game. We will be proud of that. And if you are a pioneer, if you join us now, you are still a pioneer, because it's going to be worth it. It's going to be so worth it. I can promise you. And you can read success stories after success stories, how the pioneer in one area is like nobody believed in them, and still they just persisted and promoted through and everything. And I think there's a statement here in US as well that goes like, no one ever bet too much on a winning horse. And I think that all the evidence at this point at this opportunity with Zenzino and test-based nutrition as the #1 winning horse. And today you can decide to grab that opportunity by the name, and just ride along with it. And remember this, your past is not your potential. And your greatest risks will become your greatest rewards. Because doing your best in this very moment will always put you in the best place for the next moment. And always remember this, your success blesses other. Thank you. God bless. Stay strong and rise above. Appreciate you all. Have a great, great weekend.
Thank you so much, Thomas. I totally believe in the success, and you have been such a blessing, not just to me, but everybody on here. So I'm letting everybody unmute, and thank you for your blessings, Thomas. Thank you for everybody for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you.
You're the best.
Thank
Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.